Alright, hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be going through my entire Locomotive collection. I did a Locomotive collection update a while ago, so you can go and watch that if you want to see what I used to have. The collection has grown quite a bit since that last video, and I hope that you guys enjoy seeing some of my locomotives and what my plans are for some of them. Starting off the collection update, we have a Bachmann GE44 tonner. Now this is going to be the older version with the two N-scale motors in the trucks. When I bought this, I didn't necessarily know that it was the older version, but I got it anyways. I got a really good deal on it, and it seems to run alright. I don't know if I'm going to put DCC in it. I might just keep it because it looks so cool, and because one of the first locomotives I ever owned was a Bachmann GE44 tonner. The second locomotive is a Bachmann GE70 tonner. This is the same design as the 44 tonner with the two N-scale motors in the trucks. And I'm probably going to do the same thing that I'm going to do with the 44 tonner, just keep it because it looks so cool. DCC in it probably isn't going to happen because it does have those two N-scale motors, and it would just complicate things. Up next is a Proto 2000 SW8 locomotive. I picked this locomotive up for $30, and I wasn't entirely sure if it ran or not, and it had some pretty significant wheel wear. I got it home and it runs extremely well, all the lights work, and I'm planning to put DCC and sound in it at some point in the near future. Up next is this Bowser locomotive. I'm not sure what the exact model number is. I know that it's a Baldwin switcher, but that's about all I know about it. I picked it up at the Wapaka train show, and it had a Digitrax 8-pin decoder in it. So I really haven't done anything with this locomotive yet. I've just run it a few times, but I would like to use it on the new layout since we are going to be having a older section, around the 50s era. Up next is this Bachmann Class 170 DMU. This is a 00 scale model, so it will not run very well on Code 83 track, unfortunately. This is a DC model, and I've had it for almost a year, and I really haven't done anything with it. One, because it doesn't run well on Code 83 track, and two, because I want to put sound into it. The only place that I'm going to be able to run this once I put sound into it is at my train club, but that's alright with me because it's just so cool and I really like the look of it. This is my most recent acquisition. This is a lifelike Proto 2000, I do believe E7 or E8. I'm not sure, I am not very good with E units, but I know that it's a Proto 2000 locomotive, and the detail on this locomotive is utterly insane. All of the doors open, the grates are all see-through, and for an older locomotive that cost a whopping $45, I think that the detail is exceptionally well done. I'm probably going to be putting sound into this, as well as most of my other DC locomotives. I'm really looking forward to doing something with this locomotive though, because it does just look so good. This is a locomotive that I just kind of bought on impulse. It's an Atlas Trainman GP39-2 Phase 1. It's in the BNSF scheme, and I bought it because it was on sale, and I really liked how it looked. I did put DCC into it, and I found out that it runs extremely well with the next locomotive, my Wamix GP38-2. This is my Atlas Trainman GP38-2 that I patched out for Wamix. I'm going to try and redo all of the patches by using an airbrush and drive transfer decals, because to do this patch out, I just used a paintbrush and then a toothpick to write on the Wamix 3802, and it looks alright from a distance, but once you get up close, it really doesn't look too great, so I'm hoping to redo it all and make it look really good. Or I might buy a couple Athearn Union Pacific Jeeps and repaint those, so that they have the better detail. Up next is my Athearn Genesis GP7 in the Wisconsin Southern scheme. This is number 702, and this was my second Athearn Genesis locomotive. I really haven't owned a lot of Athearn Genesis locomotives. The only other Genesis engine that I owned was a SD60 that I had years ago, and I actually ended up dropping it and cracking the cab, which was very bad. And I'm still sad that I dropped that engine because I really liked that engine and it was my first really nice locomotive. Anyways, back to this engine. I bought this engine 6 months ago and I got it home and I knew it was standard DC and I knew that I needed a 21-pin decoder for it, but it says on the packaging that you have to refer to page 13 of the manual so that you can rewire some of the lighting functions before you put DCC in it. But Athearn failed to supply me a manual, so I went back to my hobby shop. They didn't have a manual in any of the other GP7Us that they had, not even the sound ones. So I'm trying to get a hold of Athearn so that I can figure out how to get a manual for this locomotive, because I really like how it looks, and I don't want to have to do a whole board replacement just to put DCC into it. Up next are my two Wisconsin Southern GP9Ms from Walthers Mainline. Both of them have ESU sound, and they are number 912 and 753. I have had both of these locomotives for a pretty long time, and I really like how they run. I'd like to upgrade the details at some point so that they have all of the wire grab irons, but I'm not in a big hurry to do that because they do look so good right now. On to the Athearn SD40s. This is a Athearn RTR SD40-2 in the Wisconsin and Southern paint scheme. And that matters because it's the standard Wisconsin Southern paint. It's not one of the anniversary units. It's just straight Wisconsin Southern paint, which is actually getting pretty hard to find. And I'm so glad that I was able to find this unit. And I really don't mind that it's weathered because the weathering isn't too bad on it. Somebody took a lot of time to weather this locomotive. It does have an Economy decoder in it, which sounds pretty good, so I'm not going to replace it with anything else. One of the problems that I have been having with it, though, is the front truck doesn't pick up power. I'm not entirely sure why it doesn't pick up power. I've been trying to trace wires and figure out why it's not, but I haven't been able to figure it out yet. This is another fairly recent acquisition. This is a Athearn RTR SD40-2 in the Wisconsin and Southern 25th anniversary unit. As soon as I saw this engine, I just bought it. I didn't care how much it costs because they are getting really hard to find, the 25th anniversary units. So I paid $125 for it, which is a lot for a standard DC old Athearn RTR SD40-2, but it's in mint condition other than the plow. I'm looking to put DCC into it, but that's going to take a little bit longer since this is an older locomotive. So I'm probably going to just put sound into it and LED lights and upgrade the details and all that. And to wrap up the SD40-2s, this is my Wisconsin Southern 30th anniversary unit SD40-2 from Athearn RTR. I haven't done anything to this locomotive other than put a DCC decoder in it. I haven't run this locomotive a whole lot because I haven't had it for very long. I do really like this locomotive though, and I'm looking forward to doing some cool stuff with it. 3928. This is the locomotive that started it all. It started my addiction with Wisconsin Southern, specifically the anniversary units, and it really helped grow my channel in a very good way. I bought this locomotive a year ago at Trainfest from Yankee Dabbler, and they were super nice about everything, and just a bunch of really nice guys over there. These are my only two N-scale locomotives. This is a set of two lifelike Conrail GP38s. These just came in a train set that I got recently, and the powered unit runs fairly well, and the dummy unit obviously doesn't run at all. I want to do more with N-scale, but since these are my only two locomotives, I'm kind of limited, and I would like to grow my N-scale collection before I do anything too crazy with it. Starting off the G-scale collection, this is a 040 that I just recently got, and it is the Clementine. I got the entire Clementine set minus track power box, and I really like that set. It's super cool. I really want to be doing more with G-scale on a temporary basis, not necessarily a permanent basis. I got this 240 at the same time that I got the Clementine set, and this locomotive runs extremely well, and the details are very, very well done. Last but certainly not least, this is the largest locomotive in my collection. You can see the tiny HO scale tracks down at the bottom of the picture there. This locomotive came in the Rocky Mountain Express train set. I got the entire set with track, power, and cars, and this locomotive is what leads up that set. It is obviously a ginormous locomotive. It weighs a ton, but it looks good and it has sound in it, provided you have a 9-volt battery. This is probably my favorite G-scale locomotive just because it looks so good, and I almost think that you could use it as a piece of art. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, share this video around, and I will see you in the next video.